Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and this is the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast, and guys, I'm running out of ways to say it. All right? I'm just going to have to go with the standard, you know? I always just say, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, Monday morning podcast. I'm just going to have to come up with a standard one, you know? I mean, what the fuck did I just do? That was like, I got birds sitting outside my porch now. Fucking office is a fucking mess here. Anyways, how are you? How's your week been going? Yeah. Well, that's good. I've been a pithy beaver. Wrapping up F is for Family. I keep bringing it up. We're editing episode 6. We've locked 1 through 4, which means, I think that means no more animation. The timing of it is locked. You know what's fucked up? Once you lock it, the only way you can change a joke is if it's the same amount of time and basic lip movement, because at this point they're already having voice actors all over different countries doing the show in Spanish, French, and all this other shit. I don't know if they're going to get it. You know, it's Netflix. They're worldwide, man. So I guess that's what they're doing. So once you lock it, I learned that because I was just like, I don't know about that joke. Everybody just looked at me. I was like, what if we write a whole paragraph of shit? And everybody's just looking at me like, okay, when they say the show is locked, what that means is, right? They're doing that shit to me. You know, whatever. I'm the fucking new guy. I'm the new guy. So anyways, old Freckles. Old Freckles is back on it with the working out, you know? Took a nice loss last week. What did I do? Did I hang my head? Sure I did. Did I take it out on my wife? Of course. Did I make scary faces at children walking by me on the street so they cried and I felt better about myself? Absolutely. But once I got through that childish period, I got right back on it. You know? I said I was getting down to $1.62. I'm fucking getting down to it. I weighed myself this morning, and I'm going in the right direction. I turned the ship around. And I've almost lost 20 pounds. You know what happens when you lose almost 20 pounds? People stop saying you look good. They start giving you shit. They start trying to pick you apart. You know? Just like the Patriots. You win a couple of rings. All of a sudden, you're not the darlings anymore. Everybody's trying to find fault. So people are giving me shit, right? Getting shit on Twitter like, you know, I'm hearing all this stuff about weight loss. What's up with your fat percentage? Got a bunch of those. You know, thinking I'm just sitting here like some chick before a wedding just not eating. I'm fucking eating like a maniac. I have breakfast, a snack, lunch, then something else, and then I have a meal at 4 and at 6. Fuel in my body. Dude, it's fucking bizarre. I don't have any sugar, salt cravings right now. I fucking walked by the other day. I was walking down the street, and these people are outside, and they were eating pasta with fucking bread rolls. And I didn't give a shit. I just looked at it like, what the fuck is... I used to eat that, you know? Before, when I was on the smack, you know, when I was drinking the booze and all that shit, you know, sugar, salt, I would look at that pasta going, oh, dude... Fucking cancel everything. Let's sit down and fucking put that manhole in my stomach. And this is the thing, too. I'm not being some cunt right now because I know most of you guys are junkies right now. Sugar, salt, doing that fucking thing. I understand. You don't think I'm going to be back fucking limping my way back into regular person rehab with the sugar, salt? Of course I will. But right now, I got to fucking see this thing through. So, oh, God. The blandness of some of this shit that I'm eating. You know what my 4 o'clock meal is? I make turkey patties. You know, if I treat myself and I got enough fucking charcoal, I'll throw them on my little hibachi, right? And I don't know if people around the country call them hibachi. It's just like a little grill. I remember I said hibachi the first time I moved out to L.A. The first time I was out here in the late 90s, people were like, what is that? What is that? You know, they do that thing. You ever see that sketch on fucking SNL? The Californians, where they'd say a word and they wouldn't close their mouth until the end of it. Like, we live in Calabasas. There is something about people that live out in Calabasas and in that fucking area. I had to go to the doctor the other day. You know, I'm an old man getting a checkup or whatever. So this lady fucking brings me into this room and starts doing something to my leg. I got like this little varicose vein I'm trying to get rid of. She's hitting it with this fucking laser thing. And I found out it's because I got like low blood pressure. So my heart shoots it down to my feet, but then it doesn't come back up my legs the way it should. They tell me I got to wear compression socks and shit. I'm fucking looking at them like I'm that fucking old. You know, when you fly on planes, wear some compression socks. So anyways, this person, she takes me into the fucking room, right? And I go, I was going like, what the hell? I had my bag with me. And there was a chair, you know, the fucking classic, you know, chair that has the wheels on it that the fucking practitioner always sits in. So it's all the way in the corner. And if I set my bag down with my sneakers, it's the bag and the sneakers are now in the way of the chair. So I say to the person, I'm like, do you need that chair? And she's like, nah. So I set the shit down, and then I sit down. She's like, oh, wait, I do need it. And she just starts dragging it across the floor. My sneakers are underneath it, like beginning to turn over and over and over, like rolling along with it. And I'm just looking at it. I just like fucking pick the chair up and give it to her. And then I joked. I'm like, are you better with the laser than you are with the chair? She's like, I'm like, what? Are you saying I know I'm sorry? It's really weird. I'm not saying she was dumb. They just did that accent. The doctor's going to what? See me downstairs in the other what? Room? Yeah. All right. I've been having a lot of that this week. I was fucking sitting at home, right? And I've been dying to make a fucking key lime pie. I love key lime pie, and key limes are in season. So I learned from last year that you can't go to fucking snooty white people grocery stores because for whatever reason, they got something against key limes. You come in, you're like, do you guys have key limes? They're like, key lime pie? No, key limes. Like the pie? No, like the fucking limes. I don't understand why you're yelling. All they have is the pie. They won't fucking sell them. But if you go to a grocery store where enough, I don't know if it's Asian or Latino people. I don't know what it is. Out here, if you go to John's, Jons, they have them. If you go to like Trader Joe's or fucking Whole Food, they don't have them. You mean like the pie? No, the fucking lime. So anyway, so I went down, I got those fucking things, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to try to make one of these things. As I'm sitting here dieting, what the fuck? What am I going to do? Fucking eat turkey patties and celery for the rest of my life? I have been since the 4th of July. So I ended up getting these things. I made this fucking pie and homemade whipped cream, which is not difficult, by the way. I never made homemade whipped cream. Do you know you just take heavy cream? One of those little fucking things, like remember those little cartons of milk you'd get when you were a kid going to school? You just pour that into a bowl and then like a quarter cup of sugar. I don't think it's that much. You put some sugar in there, and then you just put your, like an egg beater. You just put it on high. And all of a sudden it turns into the old fucking whipped cream. If you go too long, somehow, I don't know, it turns into butter. But then you got sugar in it, so it tastes weird. I think it's more like the consistency. If you put salt in, if you're going to make butter. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But anyway, so I made the thing with a graham cracker crust. The hardest part was juicing the fucking limes. Those little fuckers, man. They didn't want to. The lady I was watching on YouTube, she actually got one of those garlic press things. A bigger one, she'd have them. And so I put it in there, and I got to tell you, man, the thing was tart as a motherfucker. I don't know if I didn't make it right. I'm going to back off the lime juice. I actually put a little extra lime juice in because usually people, they under fucking season, I find. So I just assumed that this lady, who cooks for a living didn't know what she was doing, and I'm a fucking stand-up comedian. So, yeah, by all means, Bill, overrule the chef. But are you really a chef if you're just making YouTube videos? That's like me. I do a podcast. Anybody can do this. Do I really consider myself a broadcaster? I don't. I consider myself a jerk-off talking into a microphone that I then upload onto my computer. So anyway, I tried it, man. Tart as a motherfucker. Too much. And as much lime juice as there was, then they had the rind, or the rind, whatever the fuck you say, the skin of it sprinkled on top, and it was too much. Too much, but I'm going to finish it. I'm not going to lie to you. But somehow I'm still I'm still dropping weight. I got to see this thing through. I got to see it fucking through, because it took me, whatever I'm into right now, 8 weeks. It took me 8 weeks just to have hope that I could actually have a decent fucking torso again. It was fun. Oh, I'll tell you, it was rough, I'm telling you, man, a button-down shirt is a middle-aged man's friend. Okay? And if you need a Snuggie, you just put on a fucking sport coat, and all of a sudden, magically, you're in shape. And then, like I said, then one day you got to go to the company picnic, and all of a sudden it's T-shirt time. Remember that from the fucking Italian show there on the beach in Jersey? It's T-shirt time. And you fucking show up, with fucking love handles the size of a fucking loaf of bread. So anyways, I've been having a lot of that miscommunication shit going on this week, right? So I know I was going to tell you the key lime story. So I go down to John's. Jons, not apostrophe, not possessive, John's. And I go down there. That wouldn't be Wands, would it? That'd be Juans. It's John's, whatever. So I go down there, and I'm all excited. They got these fucking things. And they got them in spades. Big fucking pile of them. And so I go down, and, I got like a pound of them or whatever. Got a little more than a pound, just in case I didn't have enough juice or whatever. So I'm all excited. I'm going to make this fucking pie, right? So I'm standing in line. Now I'm that douche who's just in a great mood talking to strangers. So I'm standing there waiting to pay, and I see this lady, and I'm all excited because I'm going to make the pie, and she had this really weird-looking bread, but it looked delicious. So I just say to her, I'm like, what is that? Is that bread? You got bread there? And she just looks at me, and she goes, what? And I realized she barely spoke English, and then I just said, I remember what I said. I said, what kind of bread is that? Oh, it's delicious. And she just goes, what? And then I totally just switched, and I was like, is that bread? And she just goes, yes. I just turned around away from her and did that thing where you're laughing and trying not to move your head. The whole conversation just went south. So anyways, how's your week going, huh? You hanging in there? Hot as a motherfucker out here. Goddamn Los Angeles, where I'm living, and as I've been telling you guys, I've been working my way through this Andre Agassi book. Not like it's been work. This book open is fucking great. I've just been so damn busy, and it's unreal. Jesus Christ, does he take you through the Brooke Shields relationship? He takes a little heat himself, but he does not pull any punches, man. He's not being like mean. He's just fucking stating. This dude's just putting it out there, like every great book should. Talked about doing crystal meth. It's like, I had no idea he did that. But just the way he's taking you through the Brooke Shields relationship is the same way he takes you through his matches, and you're rooting for the guy. Like your stomach's in knots as you're reading it. You're like, come on. Oh, good, he's to the semis. And then he's like, and then my mind starts fucking with me, and you're like, shit. It's like you're winning and losing with him. It's such a great fucking book. So it ended up making me curious as to like the tennis tour, which I've never paid attention to. Like most like passive tennis fans, I just watch the majors, and for the most part, I just watch Wimbledon. I always watch Wimbledon. I could give a fuck about the Australian Open. U.S. Open every once in a while I would watch, but it was all about breakfast at Wimbledon. I grew up watching that. I don't know why. I thought the grass was cool. And whatever, Roland Garros, the clay just bored me. I don't know why. Now I'm totally into all of it. So reading this book made me want to look up the tour to see how many events there are. So I believe there's 62 events every year And for hardcore sports fans, this will probably interest you. As far as like how they get their rankings, I might be off on this. It obviously has to do with the major events that you win. You get points for it. And then also, I would also think like who you beat would also have something to do with it. Like if you were ranked 100th and all of a sudden you fucking beat the number one person in the world, I don't give a fuck how many points you have. They got to move you up at least 50, 60 spots, right? Or whatever. I'm just using that as a rough example. So here's how the point system works. There's a moon out tonight. Sorry. For a grand slam, you get 2,000 points. And then underneath that, then there's 4 grand slams. Australia, French, the English, Wimbledon, and the U.S. Open. So all of those are worth 2,000 if you win them. And then they have these other ones that are worth 1,000. They call them the gold something or other. And for some reason, they're in gold. And I read a couple of blogs, and tennis people don't quite understand why they're called it. It says they're ATP World Tour Masters events, and those are worth 1,000. And there's 9 of those. So for nobody, and by the way, nobody has ever won all 9 of those, which I found really interesting. Like, there's a couple people in doubles have won them. And like Djokovic has won 8. I think Agassi won 7 or 8 of them. So whatever. And they're basically, and when I was psyched, there's one out here in Indian Wells. They're basically, why don't I fucking read them here for you? Okay, well, let me get through the whole thing. And then there's events that are worth 500 points. And then there's ones that are just worth 250 points, which are just shit bum fucking lowest, like you're barely on the goddamn tour. So I think these pros, the upper echelon ones, you know, if they're coming back from an injury, they'll probably play at a 250. Or if they're just trying to get some sort of points and they just need them, or they need the money and they fucked up and bought too many goddamn rackets or whatever the fuck they do. Hey, you'd probably get your rackets for free, wouldn't you? Anyways, I just found it really interesting. So there's 9 of these events. I'm not going to bore you with the 500 and 250, read all 62. The first one's in March. That's Indian Wells out here in California. And then the next one is in Miami. So what's cool is you can lose the Australian Open, but then win both of those at 1,000 apiece. And it's like you won a major. Then there's one in Monte Carlo. That's fucking great. And I'm like, why isn't it saying France? I forgot. That's a sovereign state, Monaco, which means they're their own little country. It's funny why nobody just attacks them. They're so little. Maybe because they're all in the Illuminati. All right. Then there's one in Spain, in Madrid. There's one in Rome, Italy. Both of those are in May. So these are people who are passive tennis fans. There might be a 1,000-pointer right down the street, and you'll see Serena or Federer or Djokovic or whatever. There's one in Canada, in Montreal. That's in August. Well, I guess you guys could go to the website. The one I just watched in Cincinnati, I saw Serena win that one. Cincinnati, who would have thought? Then there's one in Shanghai that's worth 1,000 points. And then the last one is in Paris. Those fucking French cunts. They got one in Monaco, 1,000, one in Paris for 1,000, and then they have Roland Garros with 2,000. Sons of bitches. And there's some sort of Barclays. Whatever. I thought it was really interesting. So I'm going to try to pay attention more to that shit. It kind of helps you get through the summer. I just need help through July. Mid-June into July. And then I get excited because football's coming back. And then by the end of August, I start watching baseball. Like today, I was driving around in my old truck and I was listening to the Dodgers playing an afternoon game against Cincinnati. And I'm embarrassed to say I don't know anybody's name at all in baseball. The only people I know is when I stopped paying attention 5 years ago when they said Big Papi tested positive for something. I was just like, dude, I don't want to watch Santa Claus go down too. You know, nothing ever came of it. But, yeah, it was just baseball. It was just coming out of that roid era where it was just like, all right, I'm so sick of you guys telling me something that I cheered for 8 years ago now doesn't count. Just fucking clean it up. And I think they cleaned, I don't know. I don't even give a shit whether they did or not. I don't understand why they can't use steroids. These fucking poor bastards. They can't. If you read the beginning of this Agassi book, the fucking pain that this guy is in just trying to get out of bed. Just trying to stand upright and then having to take an hour-long shower and then go get shot up with cortisone and stuff and get out on the court and get himself all warmed up so his body can actually function. These guys, anything you can give these guys, men and women, they should be fucking legal. It'd make for, I don't know, their bodies would heal quick. I don't, what the fuck, Bill? You're not a doctor. I mean, it appears to me as a comedian with no medical background that their bodies would heal. They'd be healthier. You'd have better matches. They could enjoy themselves more. I mean, what the fuck? How much pain do they got to go through? Why can't they do right? Anyways, let's plot. You know what? I got to read a little bit. One little advertising thing. One is the loneliest advertising that I ever read. Who's that? 3 Dog Night. That's funny. I drink the 2 Dog Special at the juice bar. All right, next issue. Oh, we got 3 here. All right. Oh, by the way, you know, somebody, ADD, all over the place. Somebody sent me something really cool. I was talking about, you know, one of my favorite drum records of all time is Jane's Addiction, Ritual de la Habitual, however the fuck you say. It's one of my favorite drum records of all time. And somebody just sent me something called I don't know, the name of the band is The Wedding Present, and the name of the album is Sea Monsters. Now, I don't know if this person's just fucking with me or whatever, but yeah, if you guys have favorite drum records or whatever, bass records, guitar records, anything, let me know what they are, because I will download that shit and have a listen to it. And I was just singing 3 is a magic number. You guys know Schoolhouse Rock? Some of the sickest fucking session drummers, musicians, play on that thing. Listen to 3 is a magic number and listen to the fucking drums. Listen to how fucking just the tasty licks the guy had, grooving his fucking ass off, but not overplaying. Play perfect for the song. I want to listen to it right now. It's fucking amazing. Those are, you know something? Those are some of my favorite fucking musicians. Are those people that just back up somebody and are absolutely fucking killing it, and then they just walk away, and you have no, like fucking Clint Eastwood in those cowboy movies. He never had a name, right? Fucking badass. Anyways, let's read here. All right, next issue, everybody. Your time is precious, and you want to feed your mind with the best of what's out there. Don't you hate when somebody speaks for you? But who has time to sift through all this nonsense on the internet? For those of us who want premium content and don't have time to waste finding it, there's Next Issue. Next Issue is the mobile app that lets you tap directly into the world's most popular magazines anytime, anywhere, using your phone or tablet. They've got all your favorites like Sports Illustrated, Maxim, and Esquire. And Next Issue lets you dive deeper into the story with interactive content not available anywhere else, giving you a richer reading experience. Why do I need to interact with it? Why don't you write a fucking story worthy that I don't have to have scratch and sniff? I've never felt that reading Sports Illustrated. Like, oh, God, if I could just smell the mound. Anyways, sign up for Next Issue right now. You'll get immediate access to all these top magazines, including back issues and exclusive videos and photos. Oh, there you go, the videos and photos. I'm sorry, Next Issue. Once again, you were right. Again, you can try Next Issue for free right now when you go to nextissue.com/Burr. If you guys are wondering why I go free, they got this guy out here. I don't know if they have it around the country. He's a mattress dude. Fucking do something or your mattress is free. I got to give him a shout out. What the fuck's their name? When I was in Massachusetts, it was Jordan's Furniture. Jordan's Furniture Wall Fam. Left on Spitbrook, right on Daniel Webster. They had that, and then they had the Light and Leisure, the purple building. And this guy was trying to do the Crazy Eddie thing. And every time he came on, he was the crazy guy who sold lamps. And his thing every time was like, oh, I really did it this time. Holy shit, why did I order so so many lamps. Ah, fuck, I gotta get rid of these things, man. Every fucking time. It's just like, dude, why don't you just look around your store and take a little inventory? The bottom line is you weren't giving us a break on the price. You were just acting like you were crazy, and for some reason people let you run a store. All right, ZipRecruiter. Business owners. Did you know that summer's a great time to hire the best people? With your competitors on vacation, there's less competition for quality candidates. But posting your job in one place isn't enough to find them. And when you're short-staffed, there's no time to deal with dozens of different job sites. You don't need that shit. There was nothing you could do about it, though, until now. Thanks to ZipRecruiters.com, you can post to 100-plus job sites with a single click. Just post once, and within 24 hours, watch your candidates roll into ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. Plus, be instantly matched to candidates from over 4 million resumes. ZipRecruiter has been used by over 400,000 businesses, and you can try it right now for absolutely free. Try ZipRecruiter and get your perfect candidate this summer before they go to somebody else. Today, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/Burr. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Burr. Hey! ZipRecruiter.com/Burr. All right, the last one, mercifully. No more Bill reading out loud. Oh, it's time for fucking Uber. Hey, you like making great money, right? This is read like I'm fucking calling you from an alley. Hey, you like making great money, right? Come here. Here's a cool opportunity I had to share with you. Looking both ways. Driving with Uber. Uber's that popular smartphone app that connects riders with drivers. A lot of people take Uber all the time. A lot of people love them, by the way, and they just love chatting with the different drivers. And evidently, some of them have really interesting stories to why they drive with Uber. I was a scientist before the revolution. They love being there. That's actually a taxi driver. Well, I would have stripped, but I didn't want to do that. I'm trying to pay for college. Had a license and a car. They love being their own boss. They earn great money. It's easy to start. You just need a car and a license. Driving with Uber is great for anyone who needs flexibility. This is one of the great jobs of all time because they seem to just hire you, right? So, if you got a guitar and you want a better guitar, just start driving people around. You want a better drum kit? I mean, I would use this. Students, you can make some extra money between classes. Now's the prime time to cash in driving with Uber. You'll thank me for telling you how to get paid every week. I could be getting into your car when you drive with Uber. Well, I'll tell you right now, I won't be sober. That's the only time I take Uber because I'm responsible when I drink. You got a car and a license. Put them both to work for you and start earning serious, life-changing money today. Sign up and drive with Uber. Visit drivewithuber.com. That's drivewithuber.com. Hey, yo! Drivewithuber.com. They just feel like you don't hear it for the first 2 times, do they? I wonder if that works in your relationship. Bill wants a blowjob. That's Bill wants a blowjob. Hey! Bill wants a blowjob. That's gross. Why did you say it 3 times? All right. Here's a good line I used on my wife the other day. I was like, sweetie, when are you going to be sick of being sick of me? And she actually laughed and said, sorry. I'm an asshole. I'm not easy to live with. All right, let's, where the fuck am I here? What do I want to talk about? Oh, by the way, I actually reached out to the nerds on Twitter, seeing if there was any way I saw all of a sudden I have this iWatch app. Like, I had a really bad week with my iPhone. All of a sudden, it was just wigging out on me. And I ended up, I couldn't get messages. I had to keep shutting them down. I couldn't read my messages. I couldn't close apps. All this stuff, the whole thing was going haywire. And I was thinking, like, did I fucking spill water on this thing? What's going on? And then somebody over at F is for Family is like, well, have you downloaded the new operating system? I'm like, I never do that. It just fills up your phone. That's how I was able to keep the iPhone 4S for fucking ever. Right? I was able to keep it forever because I never downloaded any of the new shit. The phone was more than good enough when it was just the 3. I have no fun. I would still use a rotary phone with a phone cord. I don't give a fuck. These goddamn iPhone, they're like it's like I'm in Star Trek. I don't need the new one. So inadvertently, by not needing it and not wanting it, I was able to keep these phones for fucking years until they finally just died. But now these fucking Apple cunts, I guess they figured it out. Probably because idiots like me running their yap about it on podcasts. Their new operating system, now you like have to download it as far as, and maybe I'm wrong. I'm reaching out to the nerds here. All right? Is that what's going on here now? Like they're forcing you to download their new thing so you fill it up so when the iPhone fucking 6S or fucking 7 comes out, I have to go get it? Because if that's the case, I'm out. Because now I downloaded it. Now I have the iWatch app. I don't have an iWatch. And you know what? Nobody has a fucking iWatch. Have you seen anybody? That thing fucking bombed. And I love it. I love it, but, you know, I probably for the environment, it's probably not a good fucking thing because they'll just dump them in the ocean. You know what I mean? Or they'll feed them to cows and then they'll sell them to farmers and they'll feed them to cows and then they'll be in your burgers or some shit. Who the fuck knows? But it is, because I've always been that guy like, dude, we got enough technology. We're fine. We're good. It's too good. It's too much. It's too much shit. We were good right around 95, 94, 95 was fine. You know what I mean? Fine. Everything's fine. Enough with the new shit. Because then you got to throw out the old shit. It ends up in the ocean. Enough. Or upgrade my fucking phone. Why do I got to go get a new one? And then trade that fucking... I hate it. And I also don't like how they're gradually forcing me where I don't have a choice on what the fuck is on my phone. Because eventually they're going to force you to use iCloud, which is so fucking intrusive that these cunts want to see my pictures and my fucking music. And all you fucking dopes out there who are just like, what, do you really think they're taking the time to look at your fucking picture? I can't even speak here. All of that shit that I said about going into CVS and they're fucking doing those little save scan card. By the way, I was 100% right about that. They were taking information from you. Now they try to scan your fucking driver's license. Just say no to those people. I went to the doctor's office. They go, stand over here. I'm like, what are you doing? They go, well, we're going to take a picture of you. I go, for what? They go, just your files so we can put a face to this. It's like, will you get the fuck away from me, you creep? And I was like, no, I don't want you to do that. They're like, you don't want us to do that? I'm like, yes, I don't want you to do that. And then they go, oh, okay. They try to make it seem like you have to do it. You know what I mean? I got a fucking varicose vein. You're going to see my fucking face, you douche. You got my fucking driver's license. And you got my credit card. What's wrong with you guys? Everybody's trying to do that because it's a new way to make money. Is what they do is they get personal information about you beyond what you're there for and beyond really, in reality, what they need. And then they stockpile it and then they sell it to other people. And they make money off of your information. And I believe that you should have to ask for that person's consent. And then once they give consent, that person should get a cut, a percentage of the selling of their own personal information. Shouldn't they? Am I nuts? Like if there's money to be made knowing about what kind of fucking Fruit Loops or Special K I'm eating, why shouldn't I get a cut? It's my information. I mean, look, if you want to sit up there with a pad and pencil and see me come walking in, hey, freckle guy just got some fucking shredded wheat. I don't know what I'm saying. Whatever. I'm out of my fucking mind. Don't listen to me. Anyway, send me your favorite drum records. This is the Thursday afternoon, Monday morning, just before Thursday afternoon, Monday morning podcast just before Friday. Is that how I say it? Just checking in on you. You know, the weekend's coming, everybody. The weekend is coming. Hey, by the way, that fucking, I've said this before, I'm going to tell you it again. That fucking Men's Health grip strength workout that Bert Kreischer tweeted at me. I have to retweet that thing. It's that shit is the real deal. I'm on the third exercise. Well, this is the one where you just hang by one arm with all your body weight. You're just hanging there from a fucking chin-up pull-up bar. And you try to work yourself up to being able to do it for a minute. I'm up to 25 seconds with the right hand, 20 seconds with the left hand. And I went over to this, the place where we were editing the show, and they had this little mini gym, and they had a pegboard there. And I was fucking horrible with the pegboard. And I was like, I've been doing this grip strength thing, climbing the rope and shit. Let me see what I'm doing here. And I was able at 47 to go all the way up the pegboard and then come back down. I didn't try to go. You're supposed to go up, go over, and come down. And I wasn't able to do that. So I'm fucking psyched, man. That's like, I don't know. I know you youngsters can probably do it, after a night of fucking boozing. But when you're 47, it makes you still feel like you matter. Jesus Christ. What a fucking sad sack I am. All right. That's it. Thank you guys for listening. Have a wonderful weekend, you cunts, and I'll talk to you on Monday.
All right. There's a lot of question out there about, things that happen within society, especially, this is something that I think a lot of white people need, because not because we're more racist than anybody else. We just get the consequences of us fucking up is so much harsher than other people, because, we are the gold standard when it comes to racist. We are in the driver's seat right now. We have been in the driver's seat for a while, basically meaning that if we are ignorant assholes, it has way more effect than when other people are. Back in the day, when other people were running shit, that's the thing. Whoever's on top, if you're thinking ignorant, that's why, if you're on top and you're thinking ignorant shit, you have to be called on it, because just because the effect that you can have. You know what I mean? Like if somebody from Bangladesh fucking hates me, that's such a stupid example. Okay? That's not a race of people. I don't even know where Bangladesh is, and I got to be honest with you, I don't even know if that's a city or a country. Bangladesh. Have you ever seen that on The Price is Right? In Showcase Showdown, we're sending you to Bangladesh. And some white trash person like myself sits there with a confused look on their face like, I don't know where that is. Is that where the terrorists are? I don't want to go there. Whatever. Like if Filipino people fucking hate me, that doesn't affect my life. It doesn't. I'm not going to go into a job interview at Walmart is not run by Filipinos. You know what I mean? Not saying there's anything wrong with Filipinos. All right? See what I have to do right there as a white person? Not saying I'm saying anything bad about Filipinos. Just to be clear here. I have never had issues. I've never had fucking all that shit. You got to go to the Jerry Lewis voice there. Lady. So, yeah, people have questions. So here we go. And I think all races should chime in. The questions that you have, if you have feelings about a different race of people and you just think you're thinking something funny, there's nothing malicious, but is this offensive? Is it racist? This is the new topic, okay? And if you feel that I answer these questions like the ignorant white man that I am, call me out on it. Here we go. This first one. Bill, is it racist to call Indians dibbo-dabbos? And I'm talking about the Asian ones, not Native Americans. I'm guessing by dibba-dabbos you mean dibba-dabbo. Dibba-dabba-dibba-dabba. You're saying like that? Dibba-dabbo? Is it racist? Probably. But it's fucking funny. So that knocks it down a little bit. This is what I feel that makes something like racist. It's like the reason why that one isn't as offensive is because we never enslaved them. That's the reason why white and black shit is so sensitive, is because of the shit that we did to them. But we haven't really fucked with those people, So if the black version of that was, is it offensive to call black people, hey man, motherfucker, or whatever? Yes, that would be offensive. If you did some sort of mocking of the way they spoke, yes, that would be offensive. If some CEO was giving a speech And I was driving, actually, I was having someone else drive my town car. And we drove by a group of, yo, motherfuckers! And they proceeded to walk towards, yeah, you'd have to apologize. So I guess technically, like that would be, that would be offensive. Is it racist? This is what I really, it's hard for me to say because it's what's in your heart, you know? Because I make fun of everybody, you know? I mean, I play a game out here when someone is making, let me ask you, I got a question for you. Is this racist? I have a game out here when I ride around with Nia, and she does not approve of this, to keep her in the clear. She does not approve of this. When somebody makes a moronic move in front of me, you know, driving, you know, just makes a fucking horrific move, I play a game called Old or Asian. And you have to guess because I'm going to pass the person because I got to see what they look like. You know, whenever somebody does something fucked up, some comedians do a great joke about that. You just want to see what the fuck they look like, right? That's the game, Old or Asian. So as I speed up my little hybrid to try to pull parallel to them, I always say, what do you say, Nia? What are you going with? Old or Asian? What do you got? Old or Asian? She goes, I'm not playing this game. That's mean. And then I always go, I'm going to go with old. And then I pull up, oh, it's fucking Asian. You know, or, oh, I nailed it. It was an old guy. So is that racist? I'm sure it's offensive, but within the context of my own car, you know, I'm not yelling it at anybody. And I got to admit, you know, there's a lot of truth in the fucking game. Yeah, Jesus, I'm going to have to apologize next week on the podcast. So I would say that Indian people, why don't you chime in? I would say that, yeah, that they would find that offensive. Is it racist? Let me see if I can use it in a sentence here. Hey, you know, I called up customer service and, you know, one of those dibba-dabbas answered and tried to tell me that his name was Steve and act like he was in Kentucky. But I know that he was actually in India because when he talked, he was going, dibba-dabba, what? How can I help you? Is it racist? Probably. You know what? Something bad has to happen between white culture and or Western culture and Indians. So you know what I mean? It's like you're playing a team and there's no rivalry. Like Patriots versus Jets this year was like whites and blacks. It was bad. It was a lot of hate, you know. But like Patriots versus like the fucking Lions, you know. Yeah, there's going to be some shit talk. It's knocked down. But it still hurts if somebody says something mean. I really don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. All right, let's move to the next one. The next one on the new controversial topic on the Monday Morning Podcast. Is it racist? All right, here we go. Bill, I had an interesting experience today, apparently involving me as a racist. I was walking with two of my coworkers who are both black. Oh, Jesus, here we go. We were going to go get some lunch. One of my coworkers, who I'm also friends with, did a little high-five fist bump shuffle with one of the female security guards at the front desk. Knowing both of them and how they interact with one another, I kind of made a in passing comment to the tune of, man, you guys and your handshakes, while obviously laughing at just how choreographed it was and more or less picturing them in a studio or something working out the logistics to get the fucking handshake perfect. Anyways, we all laughed and moved on and we got our lunch. All right, so nothing wrong yet. So you're cool with these people, you made a joke, and everybody laughed. No problems so far. However, after coming back through security, I noticed the security guard stopped me and kind of had a scowl on her face. I thought she was mad at me for something, but it turned out she was mad at this other lady who was black because she overheard my comment and was telling that security guard that she couldn't believe I had the nerve to say something like that. and I should be ashamed. Also to the point where she could, almost to the point where she could actually go complain to the human resource people because she was offended, etc., without even considering that maybe, just maybe, I was talking about the security guard and my coworker and not all black people. Now, it being corporate America and all, I'm sure rather than even face the possibility of any bad press, they'd rather just sweep me out the door and completely ruin my any reputation that I may or may not hold at the company just to save their own asses. I feel I did nothing wrong and had no intentions of ever doing anything wrong. I'm not going to go on and on about how I kiss black babies and try to rehabilitate inner city schools, because I don't. But I'm certainly not some corn-fed, rebel flag-waving, ignorant product of what might be incest. I guess my question is, do we really have to walk on eggshells when we are just making casual conversation that just any cunt can pick apart, select the context that they might think it is in, and then start crying foul? Basically, I would have liked to call that woman a cunt and told her to go fuck herself, but let's just say I was already kind of worried about my job. All right. See? Yeah, I think this is the classic one where you were fucking around. The other two people knew you were fucking around, but then one person just decides to get offended, and then you have to go on TV and apologize, which personally I think is the wrong move, because when you apologize, now it's like you're admitting that you meant it in a bad way. I mean, the apology I would do there would say, look, I'm sorry that you didn't understand that I was joking, but I'm not going to sit here and apologize like I have any sort of ill will coming your way. But just to avoid the problem in the future, white people, do not use the expression "you guys" or "you people" when talking about black people. That's just it's just not going to. You're setting yourself up for someone to get offended, and there's a weird sort of push-pull going on with that whole "you guys" and "you people" thing, where when somebody white says that, there becomes this concern of that you're separating. You're separating, like, you people over there with how you live your lives, and we're over here. Black people have that weird relationship with white people where they're like, can you stop stealing our fucking music and our culture? But then, like, if something, hey, let's pave the streets, Well, make sure you do it in our neighborhood. We're all in this together, right? All of us together. You know what I mean? So it's that weird sort of fucking push-pull thing going on. So, yeah, just avoid the whole fucking, you fucked up. You didn't fuck up, but you left yourself open for a sucker punch by saying "you guys." I guess that's what it is. I don't know. That's my. I'm basically a white guy telling a white guy how he fucked up. So black people, if you're listening to this thing, please help me out here. Did I basically get it right? Is that essentially it? And I know most people wouldn't get offended. All right, so there you go. That's the new topic. Is it racist? And I would love to hear some honest comments from non-white people about their thoughts. The fucked up ones, too, okay? Because I've watched enough Spike Lee movies to think that evidently it's just us, but I've hung around enough people from different races to realize, oh, yeah, everybody's like this. Bill, I like to play a little game similar to your Asian or old person driving game, except my game involves the evening news. It's called Beaner, Black Guy, or Crazy-Ass Cracker. Just to clarify, I am Hispanic, parentheses, Latino, Mexican, or whatever other dumbass term someone has come up with. So saying Beaner is okay. See, now this is why I wanted to do this segment. This is the exact fucking reason. Okay, he says Beaner, Black Guy, and Cracker. All right? And he goes, I can say Beaner because I'm Mexican. Well, then why can you say Cracker-ass Cracker? Right? It's because I'm white and no one gives a fuck about that one? See what I'm saying? This is something that I learned from doing stand-up in front of all different kinds of people. That's what I learned. I learned that everybody basically, it's not that they're selfish. They look out of their own head. You can't help but do that. So you just see shit from your own perspective. Like one night I was doing this gig, right? Down at the old Boston Comedy Club in New York City. And one of the acts that was going up was this, I think I told this story before. It was a comedy team. It was this Asian guy and girl, and they went up there and they did this fucking rap, okay? And they went up there and they stuck their teeth out like they had buck teeth, and then they put, those glasses that you can put on, those joke ones that make your eyes look Asian? They had those, they're Asian, and yet they still put those on. And then the other guy had on a fake gold chain with a fucking fortune cookie hanging off the thing. So I'm sitting there looking at them before they're going up, going, oh, man, this isn't going to fly. This isn't going to fly with this fucking crowd. This is basically, what do you call that shit? What was that shit back in the day in old-time Hollywood? It was almost like Asian blackface. Like, what they were doing was ridiculous. So I was thinking that black people watching it were going to be like, just all the shit that they've been through would look at it and be like, why are they selling out their own fucking race? This is horrific. This is fucking horrific. And they didn't. That act went up there and they fucking destroyed, and everybody laughed their balls off. They thought the fortune cookie thing was fucking hilarious. And I was just like, yeah, people, I don't know. Maybe it's because they're shitting on their own race. What the fuck are you supposed to do? I don't know. I just found that shit fascinating. So does that pertain to what the fuck I just said? I don't know. This cold medicine's kicking in. Let me finish this. So anyways, this is basically what this guy does. He says, just to clarify. Okay, now this game started because I hate watching the news. And no matter what I'm watching, SportsCenter usually, my wife will want to change it. So naturally, being the asshole that I am, I had to figure out a way to ruin it for her. So what I do is turn away from the news whenever they begin explaining the crimes or events of the day, based on the description of the crime or event and how it was committed or performed. I yell either beaner, black guy, or crazy-ass cracker. Dude, that actually sounds like a fun fucking game. Well, I wouldn't say crazy-ass cracker. I would just say fucking white dude. Example, news report says, would I say beaner? No, I wouldn't. That's one of the worst ones ever. Beaner. It's got no ring. It's got no flow. That must have been a bad day with white people. Usually we're a lot more creative than that. Name you after a fucking vegetable. Is it a vegetable? Is it a fruit? What the fuck is it? I don't fucking know. Anyways, let's plow ahead. Example, news reporter says, a man was stabbed, and I yell out, beaner. I know it's a beaner because we Mexicans can't afford guns and still pay for our illegal extended family members we have living with us in our 2-bedroom house. If the news report says a drive-by shooting, I yell, black guy. Come on, do I really have to explain the reason behind that one? And, of course, if I hear the suspect had body parts of his victims in the refrigerator, fucking crazy-ass cracker. It's because of this game that my wife has stopped watching the news altogether, and I now have peace and quiet to enjoy my top plays of the day fix on SportsCenter. Well, good for you. Good for you. Now, see, that's something I don't think that that's racist, because what you don't have any hatred towards any of those groups. What you're doing is you don't want to watch the news. It's fucking depressing. You want to watch sports, and then she puts on a bunch of depressing shit, and what are you going to do? Sit there and get depressed? Or are you going to fucking entertain yourself? So you turn it into a fucking game. It's actually I'm not offended by it. I think that's fucking funny. And there's a lot of truth to it. Here's a guy responding to, they dibba dubba. Is that racist? Anyway, so yeah, Indians aren't big white people fans because the British controlled their country for hundreds of years. See that once again. See, we all can make ignorant statements. So then you should hate the English. Why do you hate all white people? See that? We're all just as dumb. Oh, God damn it. This is enjoyable. All right, let's plow ahead here. Something I remember reading about this. I'm going to give you a vague description of what I remember. This is classic for my podcast because nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about. See this? This is how we're all coming together. Yeah, the British were fucking over the Indian people, and Indian people did something. They finally fucking snapped, and they went off, and they did something really violent to some of the British people who were over there, including women and children, I believe. And they went, say, we'll say 1 to 10 evil. They went about 5. And then England said, oh, yeah, we'll fucking show you what evil is. And then they came back and they went 15. And they were like fucking burning people alive. They just went around just shooting everybody. Which is what you have to do when you fucking occupy a country. You have to commit fucking genocide. That's the only way, which is why you shouldn't do it. It's why you shouldn't fucking invade another country. Because they ain't fucking leaving. They ain't fucking leaving, so I don't know what the fuck. You know what? This is that's part of a whole nother big discussion. I shouldn't even have fucking brought it up. But the only occupation I've ever seen that ever fucking worked was in this country. And the reason why it worked was because we weren't leaving and we fucking committed genocide. That's the reason. And I'm not for that on any fucking level. Which is why when I look around the world and I see certain people in certain areas, I'm not surprised with what the fuck's going down, because that's what always goes down. It's what always fucking goes down. It's fucking, I don't know. It's evil. I don't know. Speaking of which, do you guys realize that right now Brett Favre is getting sued? Listen to this shit. This is how fucked up the world is right now. Brett Favre is getting sued by two masseuses because he tried to get some sort of sexual favors afterwards, and they're suing for that. Do you understand that? Let me say that just one more time. Brett Favre is getting sued by a masseuse. 2 masseuses. Is that how you say it? Masseuses? Mooses? 2 masseuses for asking basically to bang him at the end of it. They're suing him. Can you fucking believe that? It's fucking that. You know what that's like? That's like me suing a comedy club because I got heckled. It comes with the job. There is not any masseuse, any female masseuse out there that listens to this podcast. Are you honestly going to tell me that you've been rubbing guys' backs and their legs and their chest and all that, and no one has ever asked you for a fucking hand job at the end of it? It fucking comes with the territory. That's like being a cop and suing the city because you got shot at. All right? You fucking put hot oil all over a guy's body and you rub everything but their dick. I mean, give me a fucking break. You goddamn cock teasers. Yeah, people are going to ask you to rub one out, okay? And if you had a shred of fucking decency, you'd do it. You'd complete the goddamn job. All right? Because your sign says full body massage. All right? Last I saw, my dick is still part of my body. All right? You know what masseuses are like? They're like the fucking quarterback who can't get it done. Just always comes up a little bit short. They should fucking interview him afterwards. So, like, what happened in there? I just didn't get it done. It was like right there. All I do is just reach out and grab it, and I just, we didn't want it. We didn't want it as much as they wanted it. That's that's such a classic piggyback lawsuit. It's like once that first stupid whore, gave Brett Favre shit. This is very interesting that I've noticed about whores. Once one comes out of the woodwork, then all of a sudden 20 come out of the woodwork. And then they always try to paint it as, well, we were too scared. We were scared. Fuck you. You were. You're trying to make money. And you're trying to build on the momentum of the other case. That's the female version of pulling a train on somebody. The guy version is, you and 80 of friends bang the same girl. The female version is, you're a fucking whore and you're just waiting for a whore to sue a guy that you fucking banged. And then you draft in right behind their lawsuit. Okay? Some of those masseuses, they'll actually come to your house and give you a full body rub down with oil. Okay? And then have the fucking nerve to get upset that you try to get a hand job at the end of it. Give me a fucking break. Why don't you fucking masseuse broads man the fuck up and start rubbing one out? Is it that goddamn hard? No pun intended. Is it that fucking difficult to just fucking, it's like you're revving a motorcycle. That's it. That's all you got to do. Up and down with that fucking oil. You in and out. You want that house on the hill, sweetheart? There's a price to pay. All right? And when a quarterback who owns every fucking record, good and bad, in the goddamn universe asks you to rub one out, God damn it, you fucking rub one out. Well, maybe you don't belong in this business, sister. That's right. Stare at your fucking manicured toes. Pedicure, whatever the fuck you're supposed to say.